Good evening, good evening. Hello everyone, I'm Richard Lewis Brown. Today is June 2nd, 2021, almost nearly 7 p.m. And as you know, I am the upcoming future Local 1000 president. And hopefully I'll be sworn in on June 26th. And so this evening, this video is about money and respect. As you know, Local 1000 just had an election. I won the position for president. Again, I will be sworn in, hopefully, on June 26th. And as you know, right now, there's a Zoom meeting, or not a Zoom meeting, but a call-in meeting for the Local 1000 Board of Directors. They're voting to decide if they want to give Gavin $1 million. And they're also voting to take a stance that they oppose the recall of Gavin. Now they sent the email out last Friday night, and I tried to call in. I wasn't able to get in. Maybe some of you were, but I was not able to get in. All right, and I don't sit on the board yet. And so this morning I posted on the group page for Keep CCC Open. And I know Aaron Escato tried to reach me, and I've been busy talking to people all day. So Aaron, I will call you back. So maybe there was some confusion on that post I put up, but I wasn't trying to confuse anyone. I was coming with honorable intentions. And I said, once I'm sworn in, there's going to be an emergency meeting, and I want to put aside $2 million for state employees up in LAWSON County who are losing their jobs at the prison they're closing down. That's what I put up. That's what I meant. So, there's a good chance that tonight they will pass. They'll vote to agree to give Gavin the $1 million. So what I'm trying to find out is, when I become president and I take a vote to put up $2 million to help state employees who are losing their jobs up in LAWSON County, will they make a rush to help you? That's what I'm trying to find out. And we're going to find out. We're going to find out if helping Gavin is more important than helping you. We're going to find out. That's what we're going to find out. So this is what I was saying in the post I put up this morning. And I saw a few comments. I haven't been on Facebook all day. So if you misunderstood my post, I ask you to forgive me. But this is for those state employees in LAWSON County. I want you to know that you have a new Local 1000 president coming. And I'm not going to forget about you. I'm not going to disrespect you. And when someone told me that when you lose your job at this prison and they close the prison down and they try to move you over to the other prison up there, I think High Desert, some of you may have a lot of seniority, and when you go to High Desert, you may bump someone off and then they'll be out of a job. This is no good. This is no good. A union should be protecting your jobs. If we have a signed contract, there should be no job loss. I don't understand this at all. And so when you have a union president who doesn't care about you, this is what happens. But I'm a labor leader. There's a difference. I fight for the working people, the middle class, the working poor. That's what a labor leader does. Union leaders, that means politics. That means they support politicians. If anyone has followed my campaign, 2018, 2021, if you even go all the way back to 2015, I've stayed pretty consistent. I haven't wavered. And so, actually, when we lost this 2 days of pay, I drove up to Susanville last summer. So I know where Susanville is. and I care about people. And of course, being pro-labor, I care about the working class. So, I hope that this video gets back to the people up there in LAWSON County. I really do. I hope they know that I care. And just because you're way away from Sacramento, that doesn't mean that your life doesn't matter. Your life matters. And when I was seeing some of the comments, maybe you haven't heard of me. And I don't post too much on that page. Keep CCC open, the California Correctional Center open. I don't post much on there because I know people are really, really emotional about what's happening up there. And I understand that. If someone said you're getting ready to lose your job and the good chance of you getting another job up in the area is really, really low, and you could wreak havoc on LAWSON County, so you would be concerned, and I'd be concerned. And the fact that they're trying to, have this social justice by closing the prison and letting prisoners out early, that's fantastic. But you're committing social justice on one end and a social nightmare on another. Or should I say tragedy and a nightmare. And this is just wrong. And I haven't heard our current president of Local 1000 really become vocal. I haven't seen her go up there to see about you. Now, I know your leaders in your town are talking and you're rallying together, and that's fantastic. And I want to let you know that I am in full support. And once I am the new Local 1000 president, I will be making a trip to LAWSON, and hopefully I can meet you and your community leaders. And hopefully, when I call for that emergency board meeting, we'll have $2 million set aside just for you. Just for you out of our political action committee. Since they have this political fund, I don't understand why they're not using it for us. And this is why I said we should get out of politics, because they're always, giving money, partisan politics, and ignoring people of other political parties. This is wrong. I've said this over and over and over again, and I will not back off. They cannot intimidate me with having police at my door. There's a lot going on behind the scenes at this union. My election is going to cause a lot of things to be stopped. A lot of things. And, it bothers me so much that they're rushing to save this person, protect Gavin and his family. They're worried about his career. And this man's a millionaire from a wealthy family that knows other wealthy families, and they have a connection. But yet, our Local 1000 president does not have a connection with you. I will establish a connection with you after I'm sworn in. That's a promise. And that's why I do these videos. I don't do them every day, but I do them at nighttime. I do them sometimes in the middle of the day. I do them in the morning. And after I'm sworn in, the videos do not stop. And that way, you don't have to worry about calling the president and not having your call returned. You'll be able to contact me through social media. Now, I'm going to need some help probably because there'll be a lot of people contacting me on my phone, through social media, through email. But I'm going to be visible, and I'm not going to ignore you. And this is why I won the election, because I didn't ignore people. When people talk to me, I talk back to them. I return their calls, their emails. I've responded to a lot of emails since I've won. And I'm getting calls from the news media. And so, this morning when someone said, well, wait, Richard's with us. Haven't you seen the clip on Fox News? Haven't you been reading the newspapers, what Richard said? The one man quoted me from AP News. If you're questioning my sincerity for you in fighting Gavin Newsom. And it says here, Newsom won election in 2018 with union support. Then, in Brown's view, turned on organized labor to help close the projected budget gap by demanding the equivalent of 2 days' wages or furloughs each month during the pandemic when people were hurting and living paycheck to paycheck. It's not furloughs. When he wrote this, it's not furloughs. It was POP. We voluntarily gave up that money. But here's when he quoted me. Oh, wait a minute. Is the vote on the... Yes, it's happening right now, Cassie. And then I said this. That's why I said we're going to run his ass out of office. That's what I said. He quoted me. That's why I said we're going to run his ass out of office, Brown said. So if you think that I'm just talking, I'm not. I'm not. I'm sincere in my efforts. And this is why they don't want me to be the new Local 1000 president. And this is why they're rushing to give Gavin this money. Because I'm on record saying that they quoted me else. I said, this is what I said. He quoted me. He quoted me correctly on this. He is going to need support from public sector unions to help him fight his recall, Brown said in an interview with the Associated Press. When I become president of Local 1000, he can look for somebody else to support him. He will not get any help from us. He's on his own. That's what I meant. Now, that other statement about that's why I said we're going to run his ass out of office, I probably said it. I can't remember me saying it, but, I probably said it. We were probably laughing and talking about, politics here in America. But, if you look at my Twitter feed, my Twitter posts, you can see me going after Gavin and our current Local 1000 president. So like I tell people, it doesn't matter what I say to you. I've never deleted my posts on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. My videos, they're all up. They're on my YouTube channel. They're on my website, createexcellence7437.com. So I'm not hiding from anything that I've said. In fact, it's all here in my brochure anyway. So when I talk to the news media, when I talk to you, what am I going to lie about? I've already said it. I have it in print. I don't have anything to lie about. That's why I just tell the truth, because I've already said it already. It's not like I have to take it all back. That's just what it is. And when I say I'm going to help you, that's what I mean. Now, I know a lot of people don't believe that I'm going to push to get $2 million for the people of LAWSON County state employees from that state prison that's closing. Okay. I guarantee you, you really don't know about Richard Lewis Brown, but I'm going to show you, because I'm not from California originally. I'm from Missouri. I'm a show me type person. Don't talk about it, be about it. And I'm going to be about it. I mean, people told me that, Richard, you can't win this election. You'll never beat her. See, there's people in the union who support this current president so much. And they told me I would never beat her. I don't live my life by never. And hopefully you don't either. And we're going to get through this together. And we're going to create a labor movement that's massive across the state of California for Local 1000. That is what we're going to do. We're going to get people from everywhere to believe in Local 1000. We're going to get non-members to become members, because we know it takes money to run a union, because it takes money to create a strike fund. And if you think relying on these politicians is going to get you a quality contract, think again, because it won't. You got to have a strike fund, and you got to be ready to bargain in good faith, and when need be, after reaching a legal impasse, have the courage to take a strike vote. But if you take the strike vote, you must go on strike. There's no going back. And therefore, we must create this strike fund to pay people. Because as long as we're depending on these politicians, they'll take money from us and take our jobs from us and change our work hours and our working conditions anytime they want. And it's unfortunate that our Local 1000 president has never enforced our contract since she's been in office. That's just what it is. And, people say that they want change. Here's what I'll say about change. A lot of folks tell you that they're going to change. They're going to change things. How many people actually really change? Nothing changes. Only thing they do is they move things around. They present it to you in a different form or fashion, but it's the same result. You're not getting any help. It's ironic how passionate I campaigned. And then after I won, they said, oh, the way you campaign is one way, but you got to govern another way. Listen to the word they use. Okay, that was great for your campaign, Richard, but now you got to change to govern. And you see why I don't like the word change in this instance? Because I don't trust it. I don't trust people who say they're going to change things around. I don't trust that. I don't. My gut says, mm-mm. And so when I tell you change is not enough, that's what I mean. We're going to create a whole new culture for this union. And everybody in this union is going to feel that their dignity is recognized. Because right now, a lot of people feel like they're ignored by Local 1000. A lot of people, even some of the dues paying members. There's a lot of things wrong with our union that has to be corrected. But it's going to take an outsider, a person like myself, who can think outside the box, who's going to do things in an unconventional fashion. And even though people say, well, Richard, you got to learn the Robert Rules of Order to conduct business for Local 1000, these people are so caught up in formalities. They're so smart with all their education, but yet we're losing money all the time. They're so brilliant, but yet we've lost 2 days of pay. I have a question. Greg Betancourt, do you support teleworking for positions that can effectively telework? Absolutely, Greg. I do support teleworking. Absolutely. And it's part of our current contract as long as your department, allows it. But if they don't want to give you teleworking, then they can just say no and just send a letter to the union because we have a weak-ass contract. Yes, I support teleworking. Absolutely. Now, there are some mission essential jobs that cannot telework. So when you strengthen the wording, okay, so the people who have mission essential jobs, they can't telework. They got to come to work. Our contract ends June 30th, 2023. On that next contract, our contract language will be way stronger, way much stronger. We're going to have a real contract. This is why you can't wait. You can't wait till April or March of 23 to start meeting with the state, because, our SBAC happens this July that I have to plan for to elect our new bargaining team. And then the new bargaining team starts working for the, getting ready for the next contract. But we're going to do things a little differently this time. We're going to do things a little differently. Stay tuned, Greg. Stay tuned. We're going to get a quality contract. I can guarantee you that. But it's going to take work. That's why I said you have to establish a strike fund. But you got to bring people together. It doesn't matter what political party they belong to. We have to bring people together. And you cannot bring people together if you're always supporting the Democratic Party. It'd be no different if you were always supporting the Republican Party, or the Libertarian Party, or the Green Party, or the Constitutional Party, or the Independent Party. You can't show favoritism. The only political party we should be involved in is our strike party. That's it. Our strike. We should be trying to make sure our strike candidate, our strike fund, wins. And it should be an easy win. But we got to put money into that win. A lot of money. That's who our political party should be. Our strike fund. Now, I hope this message resonates with the people in LAWSON County. And I already told you, when I become president, when you call me, you know what, you may have to call me. I may just show up. But I want people to talk to me when I show up. I don't want to drive that far and there's no one there to talk to. So when you guys can get all your community leaders together again, now you have the support of the Local 1000 president. And hopefully we'll have that $2 million for you set aside so that next year when your prison closed and you're not able to get another job right away, we can get you some money paid to you to keep you going for a period of time. In addition to possibly your unemployment if you get laid off for lack of work. Okay? Now, what is your plan to bring us together? Number one, on day one, we're going to open the union up. We're going to be transparent, Antoinette. All our financial matters is going to be out in the open. People will be able to come down and look through things. And another important thing about bringing us together, all the job stewards who lost their job stewardship for whatever reason, I've been on record. On day one, if you come to me down at that union, or you contact me on social media and say, I was a prior steward, I have job steward experience with Local 1000, I want my stewardship reinstated. You will be reinstated. And I'll put my signature on that. Now, Annika Walls may not like that. She may say, well, give me time to streamline the LAPS program. I don't like the LAPS program. I don't like the name. I know where the name came from. And I don't trust the people who created the LAPS program. So anytime I don't trust someone and they create something, get it out of here. Let's create something all over again. Hopefully, Annika and I can agree to that. But I'm telling you, on bringing our union together, all ex-job stewards who want their job stewardship reinstated, it will be done. And anyone who wants to be a job steward, who's been an activist all of these years, who were turned down through that LAPS program because you had a dissenting voice, you will be a job steward. You will be a job steward. Hold me to it. Because I'm going to sign the letter and then we're going to send it over to your work agency. And you're going to be recognized as a job steward. So on my platform point where I talk about this, we're voting for all and job stewardship for all, and people say that's too radical. I'm glad that Antoinette brought this up about how I'm going to bring the union together. Having job stewards protects us. Okay? This is really big. And I haven't said this, but now I'm going to say it. I work at the State Treasurer's Office in downtown Sacramento. I work for the California Debt and Investment Advisory Commission. It's a small little commission. We're the number one rated state agency across the nation when it comes to recording municipal debt for cities and counties and schools and special districts. No one is better than us. No one is more transparent than us. I am also the only job steward at the State Treasurer's Office, which means when I go on full-time union leave after I'm sworn in, the Treasurer's Office will not have any job stewards. So you know what that really means? All those people over there who I have begged for years to be dues-paying members if they were not, and begged them to vote, whether they voted for me or for anyone else, when they need a job steward, they're going to say, oh, well, Richard became the president. I can just call Richard. And you know what? They're right. And when they call, I'm going to show back up. Who cares if I'm the president? I'm still a public servant. I'm still a job steward. That's what the president of Local 1000 is. Your most powerful job steward. And since the Treasurer's Office doesn't have any more job stewards, I have to come back. Now, I could delegate it, but I won't. I won't do that. I'll come back and show those people at that Treasurer's Office that I still care. So here's the next question. So Antoinette, that was a big deal about bringing job stewards. What steps are needed to push through the reduction of dues? Also, what is the process we as members need to support to establish a strike fund? Let me take a strike fund first. All that money that comes in, we're going to start setting aside a set amount of money every month to create that strike fund. That's the easy part. That's easy, and we got a few years to build it up. Reducing the dues. Now, I know how I want to reduce the dues. Now, by the policy file, they say you have to go through the board, and they have to agree to send it to membership. But you probably already know that the membership, that the board, who's voting right now to give Gavin this money, I can't make this up. They're voting right now to give a millionaire some money to protect him, but reducing your dues, they'll vote against that. So that's going to be a fight. Now, I could just reduce it with my own power, then they would say, well, no, you can't do that, Richard. And then the board would fight me on that. So it's going to be interesting because I wanted to do it on day one, and I still want to do it on day one. But people say, well, Richard, you got to make sure that you reduce these dues You look at the financials over there first. You haven't had time to look at the financials. That's true. But they have money. They have $1 million to give Gavin without looking at anything. So why do I have to look at the financials to reduce the dues by 50% on day one? Anyway, thanks for the question. Another part of, the plan of unifying the union. Transparency. And going to the work sites. Going to the work sites. I will be going to the work sites. Now, I know a lot of people are telecommuting. I'm still going to the work sites. What few people are there when I go there, great. The rest can catch me on video. But don't say I didn't come to your work site. Don't say I didn't care. Particularly to the custodians in downtown Sacramento. I'm going to see them at nighttime because they work around the clock at the state capitol and a few other agencies. I'm going to show you that I care to bring unity. Going to the work sites, creating job stewards, fighting to reduce those dues, creating that strike fund, voting for all. See, this is a process. And so people are saying you can't get it all done on the first day, Richard. It's going to take a process. Some things. Other things, not so much. So, people say, well, don't tell us your whole game plan because you don't want your enemies to know your game plan. Be strategic, be savvy. I will. And, people are asking, are you going to be able to work well with the VPs? I think so. We had a meeting Monday, and it was about building trust. It's about building trust with the VPs. It's going to take time, though. I don't know that. Well, I know one person of that team, Irene Green. I know her from many, many years ago. And I know Annika somewhat. I don't know David too well. But it takes time. But the one thing you don't have to worry about with me is you can trust me as your president because I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to continue to be transparent. I'm going to open up the website. That's on day one. That website will no longer be locked. And we're going to know how many dues-paying members there are versus how many non-members there are. It's not going to be that guessing game stuff. We're going to be transparent. Now, some people get mad when I talk about people and their salaries. Let me be crystal clear about bringing unity to our union. A lot of these people who want to give money to Gavin Newsom, who walk around and act like they know everything, look at their salaries. Look at their salaries. They can afford to lose money. They don't really care about you. I'm going to tell you that. And these people that tell you, oh, well, Richard's shaming me or whatever, he can't talk about my salary. You're a public servant of the state of California. Your salary is up on the internet. And I think everybody's salary and their jobs should be listed on our Local 1000 website because it's a matter of public record. So let's stop playing games with ourselves, okay? Let's stop playing games. Now, I hope, do you think getting a 20% pay raise is going to happen? If so, how long? Wait till we see the 20. Our current contract goes to June 30th, 2023, Joseph. We can get a 21% pay increase. And don't think it's impossible. It's very possible. I know the number sounds big to you. Now, it's funny. Gavin told you last year we were $54 billion in the hole, and I told you don't believe him. I told you religiously when they were talking about taking our money, I said, $54 billion in the hole? I don't believe it. Show me the financial statements. Now they say we're $76 billion up. But they tell you a 21% pay increase is impossible. It is possible. The money's there. They just don't want to give it to you. That's all. No one has ever fought them for that money. This is America. If you want that substantial amount of money, and you're not going on strike, you're not getting that money. You have to fight to win. Okay? If you walk around with your head down thinking that you can't get it done, you won't get anything done. And so tonight, this video was about letting the people in LAWSON County know I got their back and I'm going to fight for that $2 million. Because I want to show people that if they run to the rescue of Gavin, but yet you ignore your own people who are about ready to lose their jobs next year, and you're not rushing to tell them it's going to be okay, it's going to be all right, we'll get through this, we got money put aside so that when some of our people lose jobs, they'll be okay. They won't have to go on, quote, unemployment. Oh, boy. What about the essential worker pay? We have no control over that. If you look at what it says about from the federal government, the governor has complete control. Now, the part about that is if you say, see, here's where the union runs itself into problems. They tell you that politics matters, but yet we gave up our money to this governor under a signed contract and he's a Democrat. They tell you can't really trust the Republicans. They'll take everything from you. But we still lose money under Democratic leadership. We lost 2 days with Brown, and we lost 2 days with this governor, Gavin, for 4 days. But we only lost 3 with Schwarzenegger. So the Democrats take from us just as much as the Republicans. But they have you fighting one another because they have us divided and confused. The essential worker pay that you think the governor would be appreciative of state employees and want to make sure that a lot of them get some of this money. But he hasn't said what he's going to do yet. But yet we helped get him elected. How many people in our union voted for that man? And then he turned his back on us. Took pictures with us, walked around with us with his, charm and charisma. And then when things got tough, what did he do? He took our money. He threatened us with furlough. And here's the thing. They were not going to furlough us. That was an empty threat. Because Democrats don't want to furlough labor unions because then that shows that they're no different than Republicans. This was a hustle. You got to think about this. And then someone brought this to my attention tonight. He did not give up his money until he got caught. Remember that? He thought he had given up the money. And then those state legislators that told us that we should work with the governor, did they give up their money? Hypocrites. That's what they are. Not all of them, but they didn't give up their money. Those politicians at the state capitol, through bipartisan support, came together and said, we must protect and prioritize our money and our families. We must come together. And they came together, those Democrats and Republicans, they came together, sang kumbaya, and said, we ain't giving up nothing. You give it up, but we ain't giving it up. We're better than you. Oh, that's how you feel? You think you're better than me? And I'm a taxpayer just like you? That's how you feel about me. Okay. And that's what they did. The essential worker pay, we should be getting some of that money. But like I said, we don't control that. The governor has complete control. But you know what a bigger question is about that? Why do we need the essential worker pay? That's the trip. That's the trick. If you would have kept your money and kept your same work hours and not given in to him, you wouldn't need no essential worker pay. You'd be just fine and got your scheduled pay increase of 2.5% on July 1st, 2020. You'd be just fine. You wouldn't need somebody's handout if you had a real union and they did their job and enforced the contract. All right, I don't want to get loud tonight. I don't want to get loud. But sometimes when you talk to these, some of these local 1,000 leaders, and I'm telling you, you wait till I become president. I'm going to show you how smart, and they think they're so much better than everyone else. Oh, I got stuff coming on these people. I got stuff coming. And we're going to expose them. Together, we're going to expose these frauds. Our money should have never been taken away. We should have enforced our contract. And if he would have said, we're going to furlough you, he wouldn't have been able to furlough everybody in Local 1000. And we could have taken them to court and won. What do we need to do to fight to reduce our healthcare costs? That's a great question. I don't have that answer right now. See, that's the one issue that I don't have all the answers. Healthcare. I don't have them now. Give me some time and I'll get them. And we'll figure this out. Look, I don't know everything, but what I do know, I do know. And when I don't know something, I'm not going to lie and tell you that I do and act like I'm the smartest guy in the room. No. Okay, next one. What I want to know is, why did Yvonne not have an emergency meeting to get our money back? That's how you can tell she doesn't care. She cares more about getting Newsom his money than our money. Enough said. You're right. But I've been saying this for years, that she doesn't care about you. The question is, did she ever care? That's the real question. Did she ever care? So common sense tells me, along with my heart, when people become presidents of certain organizations, they forget about you. That's why when people said, have I gotten used to the fact that I'm going to be the next president? Not really. I'm still Richard. People call me Mr. Brown, President-elect Brown, whatever. You know, I'm still Richard. When you see me, don't be saying President Brown. You call me Richard, you see me out in the street. Okay? Richard. That's my name, Richard Lewis Brown. You can call me Rich. You know, but my name is Richard. And I'm not going to forget about how I campaigned over the years to get your support. And I'm not going to, quote, change. I'm not going to change up on you. I'm going to stay me. And sometimes I'm super nice, I'm super professional. And then sometimes I'm coming for you and I'm going to give it to you. You come at me crazy, you may get it right back. You say, oh, well, that wasn't so presidential. Look how you're acting. No, I'm not going to put up with your BS. Okay? And because I'm not going to put up with your BS and I'm going to set you straight, don't say that I'm angry. Don't say that I'm out of control. What I'm telling you is, take your BS to someone else. I'm not having it. You want to play games with people's lives? Go somewhere else. Find a new union to corrupt, to destroy, to decimate. Those days with Local 1000, they're over. And that's why they're rushing tonight to give Gavin this money. These arrogant people, these so-called Local 1000 leaders, giving this man this money so that Yvonne can look good. So she can look good in front of the world. All that they're doing tonight is verifying. Thank you, Cheryl. And, oh, God, Cheryl, you sent me something in the messenger. Oh, you sent me something in the messenger, and I'm going to address that. All Yvonne Walker is doing is making herself look good in front of the politicians, saying, you're going to miss me when I'm gone. I just gave you $1 million. Now, she may be going to work for Gavin Newsom up there, or she may be going to work for International. We don't know. Maybe she has to pay the money to show that, hey, you can hire me, and I'm going to give you some money ahead of time. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. We don't know. They say that they're trying to help him fight his recall. That's what they say, but that ain't how I see it. Yvonne is using dues to earn an appointment. Yes, these people have told you that this money didn't come from our dues. It came from COPE, which is the voluntary money. That is a lie. I'm not going to yell about this. My voice is already tired from talking to people today. That's a lie. You know, when I do my first board of directors meeting, it's going to be live streamed. And we're going to talk about the dues dollar breakdown. And I'm going to tell you that she's been lying to you for all these years. Your money has been going to politics. Why do you think they did the Janus decision? I, a few months ago, sent a membership dues declaration letter in. saying don't use any of my money on politics. How many people know you can be a full dues-paying member of Local 1000 and not have any of your money used on politics? That will unify our union. When Antoinette was asking about how to unify our union, stop political spending, and people now know that they can join the union and none of their money will be used on politics, then we're going to have a separate account for those people that do that membership dues declaration letter. That's going to be a separate account. There's ways of getting things done. And I may not be able to get everything done on the first day, even though I want to. I may not be able to get it all done on the first day, but don't you ever doubt my sincerity or my seriousness. These people, oh man, there's so much I want to say. And I got to keep my mouth shut. And you know it's hard for me to keep my mouth shut. So much. When I get calls from people, okay, so we're going to unify this union. This video was about LAWSON County, me doing an emergency board meeting after I'm elected to put $2 million aside for those who are losing their job in LAWSON County so that next year when they're out of a job and they can't move over to the other prison, we're going to be there for them. They are not going to fall. We will not let our people fall. And what I want to do is lead a rally and stop the prison from closing. Listen to this. They're doing a social justice great thing by letting people out of prison early. Some people agree with me, some people don't. I don't want to see nobody locked up in prison. That's just who I am in my personal life. But in my public life, if you say you're going to let people out and close the prison, why don't you have jobs already lined up for those people? So those people are not displaced. Okay? Why don't you do that? And if you take those people and move them to high desert, don't throw away those people at the prison to high desert. How many times have you heard state employees say they're overworked and underpaid? So when they move the people from the California Correctional Center down to high desert, and then they say, well, we have to let go of some of those people in high desert because we have too many people working there. That's madness. That's madness to me. So you let people out of prison to help them, but now you're destroying other people in the process. I don't get it. I just know it's wrong. You remember, listen to this. When they talk about how they divide us between political parties, I want you to remember this fact. They tell you that Republicans will destroy our unions and do all this and that. Some, but not all Republicans. Remember, we don't want to stereotype because Richard Lewis Brown, oh, I don't like stereotypes. Do you remember back in the 90s, there was a certain president in the White House that did NAFTA? And when they said, we're going to let, jobs come to America, we're going to outsource a lot of these jobs, and we're going to replace the jobs that we lose with computer jobs. A lot of our manufacturing jobs, we're going to replace with computer jobs. Did that happen? Remember that NAFTA? And all the unions was against that? Do you remember that? Remember who that president was? It was Clinton, a Democrat. Don't let these politicians plague you. Okay? Remember that old thing about as long as you got your money, you don't care who's in office? As long as you got your money, you'll be just okay. Wait, is it possible for the state to reopen prisons through private entities down the road? I don't know. Great question. We'll have to find that out. Send me an email, DZAC. Send me an email. We'll have to find out if that's what they're going to do. But once they close it, we don't have anything more to do with it. There's no more state employees. If the prison is closed and the state employees are gone, then we're done with that issue. I don't know if there will be private entities down the road. That's a good question. All I know is if you do a social justice, don't commit a social nightmare at the same time. So you're helping one group of people, but then you're destroying the lives of another group of people. And I don't remember, seeing Gavin go up there and tell you it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Yeah, and DZAC, a lot of people may feel that way. So what I'm simply trying to convey to everyone is just because I won an election, I got to get through the protest period. The last day is June 10th. I don't know who's protesting, whoever ran for president, I don't know if they're going to protest or not. And then the elections committee has to make a decision by June 25th. And then I don't know whoever's protesting. If protesting, will they just go through the union? I don't know. What I'm telling you is this. I'm going to keep doing these videos. And after they swear me in, nothing will change. I'm going to stay consistent. And everything I told you I was going to do, I'm going to go 100 miles an hour to get it done. Will I be able to get it done as fast as I want? No. Do I need help? Yes. Do we need to make these DLC presidents accountable for giving money to Gavin Newsom? What do you think? You know, I did a video this morning and I said, do not give that man that money. Do not give that man, and I'm the future president coming up, and you're rushing to give him that money before I get sworn in. And I said, do not give him that money. And they're still trying to do it. I don't know if they've done it already. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they've already voted to give him the money. I sat here and told them, do not do that. You're really disrespecting your people. People are hurting. See, these people who are giving away our money, these people make a lot of money. We have state employees, a lot of them, who live paycheck to paycheck. Taking 2 days of pay for a whole year, that is rough for these people. That's why you see a lot of our state employees shopping at Walmart. And you know Walmart is not pro-union. They're not pro-labor. And I told you, I'm pro-labor. We're going to lead a rally, a movement. But yet our people are suffocating so badly that they have to shop at Walmart. You think our current president cares about that? No. You think she really fought to get you a substantial pay raise? No. In our contract, it says our dignity clause, when we file for our bosses abusing our dignity, the final step 3 is at Cal HR. Cal HR is not for us, they're for management. Why would we let them control our dignity? How dumb can you be? I know that wasn't professional. How ignorant can you be? It's stuff like that, as I call shat like that. It's silly. We don't have no contract. And you know it, because if we had a contract, we would have enforced it. It's not worth anything. It's not. And then we don't have enough people. Another question the internet said about unifying the union. All of our job reps, we don't have enough. And if we do, they're not working effectively. When you call the union and you need a job rep to come, do they get there in time? Do they fight for you? Or do they tell you a lot of times, we can't help you? Well, Lawrence Williams, yeah, she drunk the Kool-Aid. That's why I stepped down. Mr. Williams, if you want to be reinstated for a job steward on my first day, come down to the union. It's up to you. You already know how to be a job steward. You got all those years of experience. You know more than I know. So it's up to you what you want to do. Okay? Rebecca Lancaster, if Bargaining Unit 11 refuses to accept the contract again, will you fight for? Ha ha ha. I like that question. In fact, hold on. I'm gonna hit like. You doggone right. But you don't have to worry about that. You know why, Rebecca? Because we're not gonna bring you no bad contract to vote down. Mark, book it. Okay? When they decided to revote for Bargaining Unit 11, that was wrong. And I know why they voted no. I voted no. Bargaining Unit 11, they voted no. And I know all the behind the scenes things on how they were able to come together and vote that contract down. Yes, I do, Rebecca. People think I don't know a lot of things. They're wrong. People call and give me information. We're going to get a good, high quality contract next time. Or they're going to run me out of here. It's going to be one of two ways. I'm not going to waste your time with no BS contract. I'm not. And if they say, well, we can't reach no decision, this is our last and best offer, They try to shove it down our throats. That's why the fight for the great contract doesn't start in 23. See, that's the status quo. That's when you're doing political favors. You put on a show like you're really negotiating. You're not negotiating anything. It's just a big political show. The fight to get a contract starts with us unifying under my leadership. And it starts right now. If we're not talking to other people saying, Richard has won this, and when he's sworn in, we can all come back to the union, and we're going to get this done. We're going to get an incredible contract. See, once you mobilize 96,000 people, and you're ready to rock and roll, and you're ready to go on this journey because you, quote, have not given up. So in other words, don't stop believing. You're holding on to that feeling of inspiration. They can't stop us. This is what I know. And you can look at any protest movement across America, any of them, the latest Black Lives Movement. Look at the crowds that they had in the different cities. Oh, we can do better than that. I know we can. And all of my enemies, they know it too. And that's why they're working around the clock. But I have to work around the clock. It's just a big game. Except I'm trying to lead this massive labor movement with your help so that you will never lose money. And not just you, but your children will know that a labor movement, a real labor union, takes care of its people. And so the children growing up will know that a labor union is good. It's not evil. Because they don't teach about, quote, I see you, Frankie. They don't teach about labor movements in school. No, they don't. They don't do that. Now, we're going to change that. We want the children growing up to know that, we want them to know that being part of the labor movement is a great thing. I see it says, all lives matter, we bleed red. You're right, we do. And it's unfortunate how our country got started because our country didn't see that all lives mattered when our country got started. That's unfortunate. That's me in my personal life. Remember, in my public life, I said we should not be involved in Black Lives Matter or Fight for 15 or these social justice issues as far as open immigration or whatever, border reform. In my public life, I must unify the union. I must unify the union to get this done. And like I have said, how is a person of color, a woman of color, going to talk about Black Lives Matter when she can't even protect white people's money under a signed contract? She's a fraud. And when those cops got called to my door after I won this election, and I could have lost my life because that was retaliation from the union, do you think this black woman called me and said, well, hey, brother, are you okay? Do you think she called me? And see, a lot of black folks on Facebook was mad at me. And I told these black folks, I'm not California black, I'm Missouri black. I know what I'm talking about. And I can recognize a real one from a fake one. And I said, if you stick with me and watch my words long enough, I'll show you how these people get down and how they're lying. Okay? I see another question. Unit 4 didn't get anything, and the person that is the chair didn't fight for our unit at all. But Unit 4 show up strong at the rallies. We have to get back to the work sites, get these young members educated about what a union. Yes, Lil Lawrence Williams. Yes, I agree. And I'll do you one better, Mr. Williams. I'm not going to talk about it and sit from my big desk at my big office that I guess I have at Local 1000. That's what people tell me. I don't know. I've never been inside Yvonne's office. I'm going to be out there myself doing this. So, Mr. Williams, I'm not going to tell you to get out there and recruit people. I'm going to get my own butt out there. And you're going to see me doing what I'm asking you to do. And hopefully you can respect that. And we'll be working side by side. Now, the VPs, they'll be working. They'll be working. But people, you're going to see me work. You're going to see me out the work sites. I mean that. And I have to bring some people with me and tell the people now, Mr. Williams, when I come with a camera. because I have to verify my words. Everything goes on camera with me because I'm not going to be accused of doing anything wrong or saying anything wrong. They'll put me on camera. But that means people are going on camera too. And then there's going to be a record of Richard Lewis Brown doing everything he can to increase the membership of our union. Because these board of directors, they don't believe in me. Some of them do, but the majority of them don't. They don't want to reduce your dues. They don't care about you. Wait, I see. As the elected steward of DLC 792, thank you, Frankie. I greatly appreciate that. And like I said, I will be up there when you guys organize and you have the community leaders there. But let me first pass this emergency board meeting to see if I get that $2 million so I can come and say, we got $2 million set aside for you. Because that would make me really happy. If I can't get that $2 million for you, when I come up there, I'm going to be fired up. And, you know, it's just simply madness how these people believe in these politicians. It's just madness. And I don't know how, here's the funny thing. You realize he took 2 days from us. He could have taken a week and we wouldn't have done anything. Schwarzenegger took 3 days by furlough. This man took 2 days. He could have easily asked for 3, 4, or 5. And I've always asked the question, you're very welcome, Samantha. I've always asked the question, how many days could a governor take from us until we said enough? Would it take a week? Do you think a week, or was it the number 3? You can't go past 3. You can't go into 4. How many days does it take? Thank you for saying that, Robert Taylor. We're going to work together. Okay, wait a minute. What happened to the reclassification of the personnel specialist? If it's I don't know. Some of you asking these tough job classification questions. Now, you know we have over 743 job classifications that I know of. When I get up to the union, I'll have them run the spreadsheet for me again, and I'll have them give me that information on the first day. So when you ask me those strong certain questions about certain job classifications, I may not have the answer. I've been lectured about CDCR. There's some problems within that job classification. For the correctional case analysts, we got some problems because our bargaining chairs are not on top of these things, but they tell me that they are, but I'm hearing something different. All I'm asking you to do, you have to understand something. I was not supposed to win this election. I beat the incumbent. I beat a person who's never been beat. And everyone's freaking out. And the staff at Local 1000, I guess they're freaking out too, I guess. I'm not mad at the staff. I'm looking forward to working with the staff. Now, I've heard a rumor that the chief financial officer is leaving. I don't know if that's really true. That's what they tell me. I don't know why I can't talk to him and say, hey, can't you stay on for a few months or for another year so that we can get things back under control? I don't see the problem. So please, Richard, find out about personnel specialists as we are way overworked and underpaid. So here's what I'm going to ask people to do. When I take over and we have the new Local 1000 website where everyone represented by Local 1000 will be able to access it, your questions, there's going to be a spot on that page on your question. And we're going to keep a file of it and we're going to work it. And everybody within that job classification, and I don't know how we're going to set this up, everybody within that job classification is going to see it. Wait a minute, they don't respond. Anika and Wasapika are who helped us when we asked. Very good, very good. But all your questions is going up on the website. Trust me on this. And then we're going to work those cases. But everybody is going to see us working these different cases. And we're going to get this figured out. But we're going to do it transparently. None of this, we'll just call me on the phone and we'll talk about it. Phone calls don't exist unless you record them. And then you got to, I think in California, you need a two-party consent. I thought I said this in the brochure. Let me see. Yeah, I said it. Here it is. Create transparent accountability by publishing all questions along with your answers on a new union secured website available to all represented employees. I got it. I got it here on the 10-point platform. See, this is why these people don't want me around. I laid this platform out. But it's so hardcore, it's so revolutionary that it, okay. It puts people on the spot. Richard says, reach out to the toll bridge collectors and all 7 bridges. They've been left out. Jonah? I don't know how to reach them. You have to send me that question on a new secure website. I'll have to figure out how to reach them. Because I thought they would have been reassigned to other jobs, Jonah. So if I was told incorrectly, well, then you'll have to call me on day 1. Call the... Here's another thing we're going to do. When you call the MRC, URC, and you ask these questions, they got to start recording that information. And they got to start sending you information typed out. I know that may create some more work for them, but I'm tired of these conversations about what so-and-so said. Did they tell it to you in writing? Was it clear? Was your job your job rep in your area? Did they respond to you in a timely fashion? We gotta get that under control. Okay. Well, you're asking questions tonight, so I've been talking for a little bit, talking about the LAWSON County state employees, and how we want to have an emergency board meeting to give them $2 million, and that way you can find out who's more important, us or the politicians, even though you already know. But we have to try. We have to give the board a chance to show that they love you more than politicians, that they're going to, quote, protect you and be there for you. Thank you, Mr. Williams. I used to be out there with the toll bridge all the time. I'll get in contact with them. They are also Unit 4. Thank you. Thank you. In fact, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't know why they can't go back to their jobs, because letting people drive through those poles without having a person there, someone's going to figure out how to go through those poles without paying, and they're going to lose money. Trust me on this. They will start losing money. There will be a new board of directors now too. Now, I was working on the Excel sheet, Frankie. There's some new DLC presidents, and there are some that got reelected, and there are some who ran unopposed. So it's going to be interesting to see how this new board turns out, and then with the new bunk team, because we have to establish a new bunk. So that's going to be interesting too. Okay, it's been a pleasure talking to everyone tonight. As you can see, my voice is shot. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to serve you. I'm still your public servant. I'm your servant. I'm your activist, your friend. I'm your excellence, working every minute of the day for you to keep you safe. LAWSON County, Richard to the rescue. Do not worry. We're going to create this labor movement. Yes, Samantha, yes. We're going to create this labor movement, and we will not stop. Don't stop believing while we're on this journey. Stay optimistic, keep your arms open, and stay faithful. We will get this done. And as the song says, as the wheel in the sky keeps on turning, we're going to keep on turning as well, all the way to the Hall of Fame. Yes, we will. Okay, thanks so much for your time, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.